The stars are brightly shining. It is the night of the dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Led by the light of faith serenely beaming, with glowing hearts by his cradle we stand. So led by light of a star sweetly beaming, here come the wise men from Orient land. The King of Kings lay thus in lowly manger, in all our trials, born to be our friend. He knows our need, to our weakness no stranger. Behold your King, before him lowly bend. Behold your King, your King, before him bend. All right, welcome back. This time we're taking a look at O Holy Night. This is not in the same key as your songbook. Just want to let you know that up front. I had to bring it down to B flat. So I'm playing with the G chord with my capo on the 3rd fret, and that note right there is B flat. And so I'm going to show you the finger picking pattern. You'll notice up here I have this diagram drawn, and the thumb is labeled P, then the index finger I, M, and A. So I'll refer to those fingers with those labels. And then I have drawn here for you tabulature. This is the example of the G chord and the pattern used over the G chord. Your thumb is on the bass note on the 6th string. So you're, and then this is I, M, A. I, M, A are assigned to these 3 treble strings in fingerstyle or classical guitar. So you'll always use the I here, the M, and the A on all of these chords. So the pattern, you'll just want to practice it like that. Just practice it over and over again. And then I have drawn for you the bass notes that correspond to each chord. So for the G chord, the bass note is going to be on the 6th string. C, the bass note is on the 5th string. On the D chord, the bass note for your thumb is on the 4th string. And then with the B minor chord, which is a bar chord, your bass note for your thumb is on the 5th string. F sharp minor, 6th, and then A minor is on the 5th string. Now for these 2 bar chords, I'm going to explain that in just a moment. But before I do, let me just kind of give you an example of this pattern. So with the G chord, I'm putting down my thumb on the 6th string, my index finger here on the 3rd string, M, 2nd string, A, 1st string, and they're all there together, and that's called your home row. You plant them all together, and your hand should be relaxed, just planting those fingers there on those strings. And if I pluck them all at the same time, I get a G chord. And you should practice like that. Just have your fingers planted. Don't move your hand, and just pull your fingers in towards the middle of your hand. Kind of like you just make a fist. Like that. And my hand is not really moving away from the guitar. Like that. And then you practice. So when you play that pattern, you put all your fingers down on the home row, you plant them, and then you play. Each time, plant, 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 plant. And when you're coming back, it's just your middle finger and your index. So you plant like that. C chord, your bass note is on the 5th string, so you plant like that. Your other fingers, they go where they're assigned. D chord. But each time I'm planting, plant, 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 plant. That'll help you to stabilize your hand as you're playing, and you won't feel as nervous, because we have a tendency to want to put our pinky down, which is okay, but it's kind of hard to do when you're playing with 4 fingers like this. So that we put that pinky down because we feel uncertain and we feel like we're going to miss the string. The planting helps you to feel grounded to your instrument and steady, so that you will not feel that you're going to miss the strings. B minor chord, F sharp minor. It's all the same pattern, using the same treble strings. All right, now take you to the board again and show you these chord diagrams that I have. In the introduction, I'm on that G chord, doing that little different sound there, and I'm using a G sus4 and getting that sustained sound. Just putting down my 1st finger there, and I'm playing with my 3rd finger here, 2nd finger here, and then pinky, 4th finger there. You have to do that in order to be able to use your 1st finger down here. I think you can see it there. See that? And that's a sus4. Okay, and then the B minor chord, that's a bar chord. I'm using my 1st finger to bar on this 2nd fret. And if you'll notice that when you try bar chords, if you'll curve your finger just a little bit and focus on just pushing on the string that you're actually trying to cover with that finger, these strings here, they're being taken care of by your other fingers, so you don't really have to apply pressure there. If you curve your finger and just apply pressure on the 1st string and the 5th string, that'll make it a whole lot easier on your hand. So practice that with your B minor chord. It's just like an A minor, but I take that shape and I move it up 2 frets, or 2 frets closer to the body, and then do it with the other fingers, so you have your 1st finger free, like that. See, 2nd finger, 3rd, pinky, 4th finger there. Same thing as, but I move it up here. And then bar with that 1st finger. Put my thumb behind the neck in order to get the pressure that I need. And then with the F sharp minor, it's a bar on the 2nd fret up from the capo in this case, and the 2nd fret up from the nut if you're not using a capo. That's the 1st finger, and then you have your 3rd and your pinky third and fourth right there. So that looks like this. Right there. The pattern here is so in the chorus, fall on me, fall on your knees, oh hear the angel voices. Okay, so that's the F sharp minor chord, and on that bar you do have to put a little bit pressure on there in order to be able to get that. My knuckle is really applying most of the pressure there on those 3 strings, because I'm having to bar those 3 strings and this one. But if you just move your finger around and find the spot that works best for your hand, and play around with that, and then just don't apply too much pressure, because you can hurt yourself with this, and you shouldn't have to apply much pressure. And if your hand starts to hurt, then stop. You're doing something wrong, or else you've been practicing for too long. You need to take a break from it. So now, before we finish, I'm going to give you the chords. And again, I'm playing this in B flat. This is the B flat note with the G chord shape. That plays a B flat with my capo when it's on the 3rd fret. If I were to move my capo down maybe to the 1st fret, play these same chords, it might be more comfortable for singing together with family or something like that, or with kids. I found that if I take the capo off and use these chords, the G, C, it is comfortable for girls, but for guys, we're scraping the bottom. So I put it on the 1st fret, play with these same chords, and it's pretty comfortable for family style singing or a nursing home or something like that. For me, for my little solo performance, the 3rd fret and then B flat is about as high as I can go. Your hymn book is in the key of C, so you'd have to put the capo up on the 5th fret and then play with these same chords. Okay, so here's the chords. G, O, holy night. The stars, C, over stars, are brightly shining, G. It is the night of the deer, that's D. My guitar's out of tune already. Savior's birth, G. Long lay the world in sin, C. C over sin. Ever pining, G over pining. Till he appeared, B minor over appeared. And the soul, F sharp minor over soul, felt its worth, B minor. And then D, a thrill of hope over thrill. And then G over weary. D over yonder. G over new. Then for the chorus, or the refrain, E minor. Fall on your knees. Oh, here, A minor. So fall is E minor, knees, B minor. Here, A minor. The angel voices, E minor. And then G, oh night. 2 chords on that word. Divine. G over vine of divine. And then C on that same word. So 2 chords on that word as well. Oh night, G. D. 2 chords on night. When Christ was born, G. And then oh night, D. Divine. 2 chords on divine. So G over vine again. C on the end of the word. Oh night, that's G chord. And then D also goes over night. When Christ was born, G. All right. Hope that'll be a help to you this Christmas season. And God bless you as you serve our King.